Ring pin. A ring pin is a quick release pin used in rapid release applications. Each pin contains a hole to allow a hair cotter pin to secure it in place. Moving on to the guide. Ring pins are composed of a 15-digit smart part code. All important attributes of the pin are broken up into categories and listed out on the part code guide. Follow the color-coded guide to translate the description into an Innovative Components part number. Located at the bottom of each guide is the layout of the smart part code. Use this to guide you when creating a part number. To start, take notice that the product listed in red is a ring pin. All ring pin part numbers will be a 2-digit designator taking up the very first 2 spaces. All ring pins start with RP. Next we move on to the orange section labeled pin diameter. All but one pin diameter will be listed within 2 digits in spaces number 3 and 4 of the part code. Each fractional diameter translates to a 2-digit designator. Our exception is the 3/16 diameter, which will be listed out using 3 digits in spaces number 3, 4, and 5. In cases of a 3/16 pin, we simply move the rest of the part code over by 1 digit. When we get to the special section in purple, we reduce the special space allotment by 1 to recalibrate and keep within the 15-digit part code. Example, a 3/16 diameter will equal a 316 in the part number format, whereas a 1/4 inch diameter will become a 4x within the part number. Next we move on to the green section called the effective, usable, or grip length. There are 4 places allocated to this attribute located in spaces number 5, 6, 7, and 8 of the part code. The first digit is a whole number in space number 5. Imagine as if there is a period right after the first whole number. Spaces number 6, 7, and 8 are saved for any decimal spaces. If a pin is 4 inches in grip length, you would see 4,000 here. Imagine 4,000. If a pin is 2.5 inches in grip length, you would see 2,500. Imagine as if you would see a 2,500 here. Next we move on to the blue section called shoulder style. There is 1 space allocated to this attribute. If the pin has a shoulder, add an S in space number 9 of the part code. Next we move on to the purple section called specials. We reserve 4 spaces, number 10, 11, 12, and 13 for this attribute for all diameters except 3/16. 3/16 diameter pins will only have 3 spaces available for specials in spaces number 11, 12, and 13. Typically, an X will be entered into any space articulating that there is something special or custom about this particular part. An X tells the team to refer to the description within the part number or the blueprint to identify what is special about this part. In cases where there is something special to note, enter an X in any one of these places and dashes in the rest. In cases where there is nothing special to note, enter a dash in each space. Next we move on to the fuchsia attribute called pin material. This section is in regards to what type or grade of material the pin is made out of. We allocate 1 space in space holder number 14 for the material of the pin. Common materials are listed out. The standard steel or grade 2 steel becomes a 2 in a part code, whereas a grade 5 steel becomes a 5 in a part code. Lastly, we move on to the gray attribute called plating. We reserve 1 space in space holder number 15 for the plating of the pin. Common platings are listed out. We do not ever plate stainless steel, so in cases of a stainless pin, we would use a 0 for plating, aka plain. Zinc, or clear zinc, is a popular plating of these pins, so you will often see a 1 in this placeholder. Now that we know how to use the part code guide, let's move on to the practice quiz and put it to use. Ring pin quiz. Number 1. 3/8 by 4 ring pin in stainless steel. Let's take a look at the part code guide. The product is going to be called out as an RP for ring pin. Next we move on to the pin diameter in orange. In number 1, 3/8 is the pin diameter. A 3/8 translates to a 6x. Enter 6x in spaces number 3 and 4. Next we move on to the effective length in green. The effective length of number 1 is 4 inches. 4 inches would be written out as 4,000 in the green section. Next, we move on to shoulder style. Number 1 does not state that there is a shoulder on this pin. Therefore, we would just put a dash. Moving on to the purple special section, we have 4 placeholders. There is nothing special to note about number 1, so we would enter 4 dashes. Dash, 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 dash. Moving on to pin material in fuchsia, this particular pin says stainless steel. Our standard stainless would translate to a number 7 in the fuchsia section. Next, we move on to the plating. We do not ever plate stainless steel, therefore we would use a 0 in the plating section, also known as plain. Number 1's part code will be RP6X 4000 dash 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 70. Number 2, quarter by 4.5 ring pin in RoHS compliant steel zinc. First, we notice that the product is an RP for ring pin. Then we identify the pin diameter. A 1/4 inch is the diameter. Quarter translates to a 4x. Then we move on to the effective length. 4.5 inches would translate to a 4500, or we imagine a 4.500. This pin does not state that there is a shoulder, so we would enter a dash. Then we move on to the purple or special section. There is nothing special in this product description, so we would enter in 4 dashes. Dash, 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 dash. Next, we move on to the fuchsia pin material section. This particular pin is steel. Steel is also known as grade 2 low carbon steel, and this is our standard steel. So a 2 would be used in the material section. Next, we move on to the plating. Plating is in gray. This particular pin has RoHS compliant zinc. RoHS compliant zinc is in R. We would place an R in the number 15 or gray section. RoHS zinc is an environmentally friendly lead-free zinc. Number 2 will be RP4X 4500 dash 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 2R. Number 3, 9/16 by 4.25 ring pin in grade 5 steel with zinc plating. The product will start out RP. Next, we move on to the diameter. The diameter of the pin is a 9/16. 9/16 translates to a 9x. Then we have to identify the effective or usable length. The effective length is 4.25 inches. That would translate to 4250, or imagine a 4.250. There is no shoulder noted in the description, so we would put a dash in the shoulder style or blue section. Moving on to specials in purple, there is nothing special noted in this description, so we would enter a dash 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 dash. Then we move on to the pin material. This pin material is grade 5 steel. Grade 5 steel translates to a 5 in the part code. The plating is zinc plating. Zinc plating is also known as clear zinc, and that translates to a 1. Number 3 will be RP9X 4250 dash 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 51. Go ahead and finish the rest of the quiz. Good luck.